What's going on, boys and girls? So we're back to streaming. Actually, I just need a pretty much a better haircut to tell you the truth. We got a pretty nice camera. The camera's I don't know what this camera is, but the microphone is much better. Obviously, my haircut is not the greatest one on earth, but we had a lot of opportunities that were going on into the market, and I like to discuss those. I'm sure you're all excited about what I have to say and what I'm going to trade. So obviously we had a change in the market sentiment with these stocks, especially the Chinese stocks like Hoodie, and there were two other ones that moved on Friday really nicely. So we had some zombies, and so the market sentiment is changing for much of a bullish sentiment of a whole entire market. Actually, just the small cap market. Other than that, we're just gonna discuss how my trades were and what can I improve on. I basically sniped all week. I was pretty much laptop trading. If I were to tell you the truth, I enjoy laptop trading a lot. And when it's a little bit slow and I have to snipe, I pretty much just recharge my batteries by just pretty much laying in bed and trading from your bed. That's how you make $1 million. Just lay in your bed with your laptop and watch a lot of stocks. So the secret to success is just laying in bed like a vegetable for a while until you get your energies back. So we're gonna discuss about my game plan for next week because obviously you're excited. It's gonna be November, so just gonna discuss some trades over here. Just covering up the week here. Looking at what has moved here. We had a couple of stocks that moved. On Monday, we had EFSH over there. We had a couple of movers here, LLAP and Duo. So those are the crazy market movers here. As you can see, so here that the range here was about, I don't know, from 2 to like 370. LLAP, the range was like from 320 to 380. That was pretty much my P&L. Hold on, let me get you guys to see the live scene here. So the thing I'm trying to get you guys to see here is that taking profits, it's actually pretty good. We're gonna see that this is 1031. So 1031, you had EFSH, you have Duo, LLAP, and EFSH. So EFSH was from like 250 to 370, about a $1 gain. So like 20%, let's call it. LLAP was about 320 to 380. That was about 15%. Duo was just a turd. My Monday was pretty good. Pretty much taking profits. My greatest gain was EFSH because I was buying that dip and buying and trading this one. That was my best trade over here. I was buying over here, sold over here, bought over here, sold over here. That was Monday. Then you had Tuesday. Tuesday was Aggle. That was a textbook daily breakout over here. The textbook breakout happened around 113. So I bought that dip. I learned in the chat room 115, squeezed to a high of 147. That was my greatest trade on Tuesday. I ended up being a 5K winner. And I saw just a little bit too soon because it hit to 147. So I caught a really big fish on Tuesday. And pretty much after that it sold off. So that was pretty good. That was let's see, Wednesday, UBX, Cano, Forza. This is it, 11-2. So we had first Green Day bounce in Cano. Cano was 372 to 390. I don't know what I did here. That was a VWAP. That was not that great. You had Forza. That was on Wednesday. Forza went from like 2 to 276. So that was a 30% gain from the lows there. So Forza was the main mover of Wednesday. Snowa pretty much just 10% over here. So my average has been a little bit around, I think, 10%, and I'm taking profits whenever I see. If I have $1,000 or $500, I take profits. So you can see that. You had Forza here from the pre-market low, $2 to 280, so that was like 40% on Forza. Snowa pretty much went from like, I don't know, 3 to 350, so I took 20 cents a share. And then we're gonna go to that was now so now we're going into Thursday. Thursday was VRAX. VRAX, I bought this whole thing and held it till the open. So definitely 180 up to 260 because Snowa ran. Because what was it? The stock before it was Forza that ran from like 2 to 280. So I pretty much got in VRAX and held all the way till the open. I ended up making the greatest gain from VRAX here. And then on Friday, I pretty much just chilled out. Pretty much just chilled out here. What was that was another. Oh, I traded hoodie. Hoodie, I traded this one, and pretty much in the I made a huge gain on the hoodie over here in the middle of the day. So hoodie is pretty much the stock that is just lifting up the whole small cap market. As we seen this one, as it broke yesterday's high 130, dipped back down here and came back down to 50. Did actually did a red to green over here, which I was watching. I mean, I watched hoodie the whole time. I watched this whole hoodie thing. It was on my radar because on Thursday I was like, forget this. I'm just not gonna trade. So I was in my bed like I usually am, and I stream and I trade and I do some bet activity. Just lay there, not anything weird. But pretty much hoodie what came into my radar as soon as I saw this big pop over to 70, and it had a textbook daily downtrend break over here, and then over here, and then I logged at 65 and sold at 85. So that was my greatest gain of the day, and then in the aftermarket hit 150. So that was an insane gain. 65 long to like 150. That was like a double if I just held that. So that was the Thursday trade, and on Friday I only traded like one ticker on Friday because I just wasn't feeling it. But even if I traded hoodie here, you had a VWAP reclaim of 75, broke, yesterday's high of 130 and squeezed all the way to 190, which I thought is not going to happen. But it actually did. So we're seeing a lot of momentum. Hoodie starting out the November season so far, and a couple of sympathy plays that happened. I think that happened also on Friday because when you get things that are over 100%, that's when I get excited. When the last season happened, I was seeing like 17 stocks over 30% on a day. I mean, we don't have 17 stocks in a day. So if I were gonna look at historical date, 04 p.m. on Friday, we don't have 30% gains more than, but we're seeing warming up. You see here Ambo Max. Is it Ambo? I don't remember which stocks moved on Friday. But we had a couple of zombies here. PKBO, which I was watching this one. You can see, so it just pretty much had the first green day over here over 540, and I was watching this whole price action over here, and it came back down, did a VWAP reclaim at around, I don't know, like here, and then squeezed all the way to 10, from 6 to 10. So when things move from 5 to 10 intraday, that's definitely an indication that things are turning for the better in the small cap market. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are red. As I was reading, a lot of people are red in the month of October. Like I said, take a break. Do not trade much in October, but I pretty much sniped a bit. What you want to do is, a lot of people are like red in the last 90 days. I've been pretty sniping, sitting and sniping. I don't have much complaints to talk about. I've just, when you start zoning out and you cut out all the noise that is affecting you around, you don't have pressures to make money. That's when you're going to be the most successful, to tell you the truth. So PKBO did a VWAP reclaim from 5 to like 1030, pretty insane there. And I traded this one. I think I want to buy 9 and sell 10s, but I did buy the VWAP bounce there at 750 because it bounced from 750 up to 9 intraday. So I did see that. And then you had another stock, SATX, that pretty much came back up like this to 16, and did a VWAP reclaim around here, which was, I don't know, 13. And I was watching this and I was like, I didn't think it was going to happen, but 13, it went to 69. So I ended up just, I missed this whole thing, but I would have bought it 13 to 69. So SATX, when you see stocks 12 to 69, that's like 30% range, 30% from there to there. So when you see the range expanding in the overall stock market, I mean, you get excited about the market and you get much more. I mean, these things moved pretty nicely. As far as my trades this week have gone, I don't think I did anything wrong this week. I mean, I haven't really. I stayed out of trouble most of the time. Probably Hoodie's gonna be your leader of the pack that started this whole. That's probably gonna kickstart small cap season in the next couple of weeks. I'm definitely seeing the volatility and the range of these things. One of my top trades this week I like to discuss. If I were gonna discuss my top trades were let's see if I can see my top trades on the what was it? The first. I gotta look at what are my top trades. 31st. So my top trades, I think it was this is the 31st. Hold on. EFSH was my top trade. EFSH I bought it at 242. Let's see EFSH. I bought it in the market open 272 and I sold it at 320, so I made 15% gain here and another 10 cents here. So that ended up being the best trade so far on EFSH. LLAP, I definitely traded this one. I didn't make that much money on this one. So number two, the best trade was AGO, which was textbook breakout of 110 here, and I bought the dip into the VWAP. You can see that AGO was my top trade for the week, and it pretty much a good thing that I sold it because it actually had a daily breakout of 113, and that's my buy, that's my sell, and it pretty much just flopped afterwards. So I'm very it was a great trade, to tell you the truth. That was probably my best trade that I did with pretty much size. And then Hoodie came along. That was a really good trade that I pretty much did. That it was a $20 trade on 200 shares. That was on Thursday. So I've been green mostly most of the days, but you know the stress that I have to deal with, considering the fact that I do have to watch the market considerably on my laptop. And I mean, this seat, if you sit here for 12 hours, I mean, you're gonna be pretty freaking exhausted. Um, so I'm seeing definitely a lot more opportunities in the market as I was seeing before. And I mean, I'm pretty excited about next week. I mean, you had VRAX pretty much $2, 170 to 260. VRAX pretty nice, pretty nice. I mean, $2, 260. That's a 40% gain there. That was my third top gain, and then you had. I mean, it does have range. Stocks have range, even though they sold off pretty hard. I mean, the range was there. You can capitalize on this whole move, which I did, and that was probably one of my best trades. I was buying it over here. I think my sell order was around, I don't know, I think it was 340. $2 195 average to 240. That was my best trade. So VRAX, Hoodie, those were my top trades. And another stock that I traded really well was AGO. So I mean, all these charts are gonna be posted on the screen. I'm definitely like how 115 over there to 133. So I mean, my numbers say that, we're coming from a very bearish standpoint of the overall market. Everybody's just very bearish, and I'm going to be much more bullish during this month because the thing about trading is that it changes at a dime, it goes from bullish to bearish and bearish to bullish. So, therefore, you always got to be ahead of the market and be ready to capitalize when things turn from much more favorable to the bulls much more favorable to the bulls, and pretty much get in on the action and be ready to rock and roll when things favor favor the Bulls. So I think it's very likely this is gonna be a bounce off here of the SPY, and possibly over 190, over 410. I'm actually expecting a somewhat of a Santa rally or something like that. That is just my way of doing things. Everybody seems exhausted about after this month, and I mean it has been a difficult month to trade, but as long as I manage my risk and I pretty much stay out of trouble and don't trade during the times that I'm not supposed to, I bring green mostly every day. So might be a surprise to you guys how I'm able to do this is by, tracking data. You can see so here that I track every single chart and every single P&L ever since June. Over here, June, I've been tracking every single P&L and every single mistake, and now we're pretty much in we're pretty much in November, and I've been tracking every single screenshot and every single trade, and that's what you should be doing if you want to get better at this. If you do not want to get better, well, the learning curve is pretty steep, and you're going to be throwing a lot of money on the table, a lot of money out of your pocket, but so far it's been great, and I'll see you all next week. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys are ready for probably another 2 months of work, and then it's probably gonna get slow again in February. So that's kind of how I see it. It's usually slower middle of January, and middle of January gets a little bit slower because everybody's so there's definitely gonna be a lot more volatility going into this holiday spirit. Therefore, I got the microphone, I got the most amazing camera on earth, and I'm looking at the world in, I don't know, 1080, 1060p. You can see my beautiful teeth here. Oh, I gotta whiten it. And somehow I have been eating a little too much because I've been resting. So my power has been, my fat content is just a little bit higher than usual. So it's been very stressing for my body since I've gained a little weight running this business. And you guys, well, some of them, you just want to do the hit and run. You're just going to get a stock pick and pretty much be like, oh, I can make $1 million. Well, you can get a couple of stock picks that work out, but your risk management and your ideas are not going to be successful on the long run. So you might get a quick stock from me or what I'm watching, but your ideas are just gonna be very detrimental to your success on a long term. So look at it as a career. If you're really serious about this, if you're really like, if you just want hot picks, hot picks will only get you so far until I do not release any hot picks. So you gotta subscribe, gotta get into my video library, gotta get into the chat room, gotta get into my live streams at 7 o'clock. And you gotta go through the educational material how to have some solid risk management, because most of you guys are just gonna YOLO everything you're gonna buy. And that's just not the way of trading. Trading is not about YOLOing or piggybacking based on what I'm trading. It's about doing the actual work, and I know it's actually work. So you're probably gonna need to watch the Nasdaq rule course over here, which is a DVD course that pretty much gives you a introductory to all my rules that I have over here, and you're gonna have to watch every single one of them and make a note and understand the rules. What are the rules, and going into detail. And I'll probably post more member content over here. I also release daily watch list in your email each morning, which are over here, daily watch list, and then I talk about the top gainers over here, which I'm pretty much watching in the morning and what I'm expecting to see, so that I have watch list coming in, and these are gonna be emailed to you. Other than that, I also have strategy review videos in which I put in the top. I screen record most of my data, as you can see. So when it's pretty much hot, and when there are things that are really worth talking about, and when I make a huge gain, which we're getting into a hotter season now, I post my my best trades and best trade ideas in the strategy review videos. And you're just gonna have to go through section by section where I'm posting each of the strategies here, and you're gonna have to go through them and understand what's happening. So it's part of your membership, which is actually only $100. To tell you the truth, most people do not want to pay $100. They're actually really cheap, and they would rather spend $2,000 of their money, buy a stock, have it plunge 90%, and then come in and pay me $50 to potentially how to tell them not to lose their money. So it's actually um, or not pay me anything. So I understand most people are freeloaders, but if you just stick to the process and learn as you go along and have a good risk management strategy, you should even trading real money. If you're in your first, second year, you should not even trade real money unless you're profitable in the simulator. So that'll be it. In the morning, I'll release a pre-market watch list sent to your email. I'll probably live stream between 7 and 10. I'll have the trade ideas scanner in there, and then I'll post member video library of my top trades, which I screen record the actual price action and my thought process in there. And of course, we're going to have the live chat room in which we're going to discuss everything that moved past 10 o'clock. Don't forget to study the DVD course of how to have a proper risk management, because everybody got wiped out in the worst financial crash of the SPY for the last year, because we're technically in a very bear market, the worst bear market has been for the last 15 years. If you don't have clear risk management, you can just give back everything you made in 2019, 20, 21, and then everything's gone 22 just for a simple risk management course. Other than that, you guys have a good one. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys. I wish you all the best out there. But if you don't have a wingman, and if you don't have a group, and you don't have data, you're just going to be left in the dusk. You might win a couple, you might lose a couple, but the end goal is to go to zero. So, because 90% of traders lose money, and I know why, because I've lost a lot of money. So, unless you want to exchange value with information, you're just going to blow up your account. So, that's fine. Trading is risky. I understand most people think they're special and you're better than me, and you're going to do it quicker, and you're going to become richer than everybody else, and everybody's just the slave and you are the king. But that's not how the reality is, because I'm the guy that has the numbers, and I'm the guy who has the profits, and I'm the guy who has the data. And if you don't get to the program, well, I'll see you into the zero category where you're just going to be broke. And that's just fine. People need more slaves in this world. But if you decide not to be a slave, we can be friends, or you can just see another YouTube video. It's been a pleasure. Have a good one, and all the best out there into the next season. Peace.